Hello everybody, welcome back to Quest Junkies. It is a Monday night, which can only mean one thing. It's time for the Rhódania Chronicles. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
We are so thrilled and delighted to be back with you for another week of storytelling. Yes, we are actually taking next week off, so I'm glad that we're going to be able to do all of our streams this week. A week off because, you know, taking time off is important, and I know I don't do it enough, so I'm forcing myself. You know, if you are someone that is not my partner or our pug, don't message me next week. You're not allowed. I'm taking time off. Unless you've got some tasty memes or you want to play Helldivers or something. I don't know. Anyway, with that all being said, we're supposed to be playing some games, so let's do that. There's a weird, funky, slightly chaotic vibe tonight, I feel. Like, we're all tired, we're all, like, just on the cusp of something. Not quite sure what. We will see what as we get into things. Let's meet our players. This intro's getting way out of hand already. My dear friends, if you'd be so kind, please introduce yourself. Plug anything you've got to plug. Oh no, that's at the end. Just tell us who you are and who you're playing. Starting with Artie. Let's go with you first.
Hi, I'm Artie the Halfling. I will be playing Mr. Timey, the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer Order Cleric, in a very chaotic world, very chaotic party. That's me, really. I'm not very interesting yet, but I will be.
Au contraire, mon ami. Thank you so much. Moving along, Aylin.
Hi, I'm Aylin. I'll be playing Aegis, the biblically accurate twink.
Never get tired of that. Thank you so much. Moving down the overlay, we have Patrick.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Patrick, aka Patton. Sometimes I draw art, but in this particular Monday afternoon, I'm Conor McGuinness, Earth Genasi Runai fighter, eating a banana.
I did expect you to throw that in at the end there.
It was going to be Chekhov's gun, like the banana was going to be here the entire session, and people are going to be like, when's it going to eat the goddamn banana?
Yeah, the banana's like, I have been here the whole time. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, by any measure at all, Bridget.
Hi guys, I'm Bridget. I'll be Frike, the Way of the Long Death Shuttercoat Monklock.
Indeed. And I am Patch, the ever humble Dungeon Master. I play everyone else. So, without further ado, check the links in the chat for joining Discords, checking out Sirenscape, buy some merch, do the things. Just you know, if you see a link, click it, unless it's a spam one, in which case don't. 'Cause that's bad. Don't do that.
It takes you to a photo of my feet.
Yeah, if Pat starts sending you pictures of his feet, I don't know, find a therapist, I guess. Last we left off.
We're not liable for that.
Yes. Quest Junkies does not associate itself with the opinions of one Patch. Last we left off, the Wyld Ones reduced from 5 to 2, and then potentially 4? 2 new faces at the table, as Connell and Frike were introduced to Aegis and Mr. Timey. 2 new arrivals to the scene, one sort of local, one very much not. And very extended introductions were in order. Aegis Asphodeus having connections to the events in Demethrin, being one of the Demethrin 5, in fact, and realizing that their paths intertwine more than expected, making connections about the evil necromancer who sundered half of the continent, and Frank's father, who seem to match the same description. A lot of things start falling into place. And then there's Connell and Mr. Timey, who went for a nice fish supper. Got some really, really shit oil. And came back. Seemingly tore away a disguise and revealed a warforged form of some sort. And then remembered that there's a very important... They had a scheduled meeting that they still needed to attend, as Mr. Timey was unfortunately a little bit early. So they had to return to the point where they met. Because it was very important that Connell be saved. So they had to return for him to be in danger so he could be saved. They couldn't have just avoided the danger by not going. Because indeed the group was attacked by one of the Shadowfell's horrific beasties, the galvanized prowler. But after a combined effort and some interesting new abilities, the group was successful. And we're going to pick up immediately where we left off, as the corpse of the galvanized prowler lays motionless and slowly begins to soften and just become some sort of weird pulpy substance. Something Aegis has seen before in Demethrin. Creatures of rot, returning to rot, as it were. The streets remain empty and the mood tense. But for the time being, there doesn't appear to be any immediate danger. Over to you.
Patch, since I mechanically, since I would have had 9 more uses of Aura Vitality before it expended, could I use those on the party now?
Absolutely. So as the mood begins to settle down, Aegis begins utilizing some divine abilities. Describe what the Aura Vitality looks like as you help the group restore some health. Take some healing damage.
Basically, it's like this faint, silvery, white light that just kind of pulls off of the ground into this mist and kind of swirls around whoever it's targeting.
Amazing.
And
Connell breathes it all in.
Of course he does. Look, I know we're called Quest Junkies, but come on. Fun fact, actually, Junkies is a banned term on Twitch. So having a Twitch channel called Quest Junkies is a really bad idea. You have to write Quest Junkies as one word for it to not be censored.
Oh, well.
So, yeah.
You could always change it to Quest Jinkies, and then it's just a Scooby-Doo reference.
Oh, Christ.
Who is the worst off, by the way?
I've got 41 out of 104.
Okay.
40 out of 83.
Okay.
42 out of 63, so...
I got beat up real bad.
In which case, Frike can have 29 back.
Okay. 69.
Nice.
Connell can have 20 back. And
Mercy.
Mr. Timey can have 26 back.
Heck yeah.
And that is everything evenly distributed.
Let's have a look here. You suddenly hear movement from behind. It's like a post box on the corner. And there is a flurry of movement as Brim approaches with his walking stick in hand. Is he gone? Do I need to give him the old rooty tooty hit? Oh.
We're good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, good as we can be. We survived.
Connell looks towards Mr. Timey. So, you said to come with you if we wanted to live, and yet this creature from my dreams came and tried to make us not live. How did you know to be exactly here at this time?
Listen, I don't know much, but I do know where I'm supposed to be at this moment, and it was here. The fact that I was early is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. What's important is that I saved you. You're very welcome.
Sure. That was a pretty cool final attack you did against the big guy. Looks like you're pretty well equipped for combat there, Mr. Timmy.
Well, winces a little bit. It's Timey. I'll forgive the mispronunciation. It's fine. It's all rather new to me still, so I do apologize if I'm a little rusty.
Quite.
Oh god. Okay. Hearing the mispronunciation, she'll just turn to Connell and go, well, how would you feel if I called you Stalagmity? Come on.
Well, that's the thing.
Put some respect on the name.
Everybody knows stalagmite. Around these parts, that is. The word's still getting out. So, you obviously had some prior intelligence to be in this location. And how did you get that intelligence?
Well, put simply, I was told by my master, creator, I don't know the official word, but to be here at this time, this place, say those words.
And they are?
Come with me if you want to live.
No, your creator, they are...
Wonderful, amazing. Does that clear anything up?
Do you
Okay,
have
any
any
other-
other directives?
Well, I need to restore order. I need to serve the Wyld Ones. I need to find the Wyld Ones. Take that how you will. I mean, I found you two. And a member of the Demethrin 5, no less. I call that a bonus.
Aegis just smiles.
Were there any other fixed points in time that you needed to be cognizant of?
That's the funny thing about time. I don't know when the right time is until very close to the right time.
That makes sense.
I'm not allowed to know too much, you know. Otherwise, I'd be too dangerous.
So, when were you built?
I'd say a couple of 100 years ago.
I wasn't even a pebble yet. Dang.
Very strange to think of you as a pebble, Mr. McGinnisey. But yes, I am old. I am...
You get used to the rock-based puns over time.
Do you? I hope so. I'm still not there yet.
Well,
That's
you
why I didn't.
might.
All I will say is I have been around a long time, but my experience of the world is somewhat narrow. That's why I need you.
And if it's narrow, then should we change the name of the group to the Wyld Ones? You know, 'cause narrow, wide. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now.
Connell's going to go over to the goopy body of the galvanized prowler as he's like just kind of like talking back to Mr. Timey. Well, as a matter of fact, we're also looking for all our other friends. We have no idea where they went, and the sooner we can find them, the sooner that we can figure out how to, I don't know, maybe try and fix all of this.
Or maybe both at the same time.
Connell's going to be like searching through the goop to see what I can find. Loot that body, loot that body.
Play my flute when I loot that dead kid's body. Don't start me singing that, because I will never stop. All right. So you're attempting to loot the body?
So, I'm attempting to search through the goop.
Okay.
Playing with the slime.
So you reach your hands in, and it's... I'm trying to think of a... It's like being wrist deep in rice pudding.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
But it's cold, and it's... The smell is nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Connell just turns into Kronk there.
I mean,
yeah.
it wouldn't be the first
I'm
time,
not
would
the
it?
only one who heard that.
Oh, shit.
Connell, please make me a Constitution saving throw.
Can't save.
I'll say in this moment, Aegis, you recall what could sometimes happen
Yeah.
when things came in contact with...
I was about to ask if this seemed like something that would do a lot of, like, harm.
Potentially. Depends on the exposure and how much and for how long.
That is an 11.
An 11. You don't find anything as you're starting to look through, but you do start to feel a tingling in your hands. Very unpleasant tingling, almost acidic in a way. Do you continue?
Stalagmite, you might consider removing your hands from the rot.
Oh, yeah?
That was the rod.
It
You just touched the rod.
corrupt those that come in contact with it.
As in, she'll draw it, like, along one of the veins in her chest that's now dark. As in this, you just touched that, and I think it's a lot like this.
Yeah, except for, not internal.
Comforting.
Granted, the creature's internals have now become externals. No autopsy required.
So, you're familiar with this thing? Aegis is the character, Aelin is the player.
Yep.
Unfortunately, yes. It was part of the continent of Demethrin that sunk into the ocean.
It's going to be difficult, I imagine, not being able to get in contact with anyone. We are sending stones, don't seem to function anymore, but if we are going to move ahead, then I think we need a way to contact people. Try to reach out to the people we've lost.
I could attempt to learn the spell sending, but without knowing who you're looking to contact, it would still be difficult.
Well, there's a few people. The other Wyld Ones, ideally. But also Captain Madeline Crowley. And, you know, we haven't caught up with Thrasham Foe in a while. You could just see who's still standing, who survived the initial onslaught.
I'd like to try and figure out where my mom and my master is.
She's going to describe each of these people, give a basic description, talk about what she knows about them, but for Thrasham, she'll look to Connell to describe him properly.
And then Connell proceeds to describe the big, muscly tiger man with a missing arm. And I'm sure there's like probably some like kind of statue or plaque or something in this part of the city of him.
Definitely.
He just pulls out like a small notepad and just takes notes, like very detailed notes on each person.
She'll look to Mr. Timey and just add that among the missing Wyld Ones, these are a few more people that we should get in contact with. And she's going to put a bit of an emphasis on the captain, specifically because the last time they were in contact was in the middle of the Citadel of Morganoth, in a situation where everything was fraught with immediate peril. So she's a bit more concerned about the state of the Discourteous Rose and its captain and its crew.
At this moment in time, I would like to ask one of you, whoever would like to roll me a D100.
Oh. I'll give it a shot.
Oh, yeah.
7.
You got a 7 on a D100?
A 7 on a D100.
Wow.
Funny. I looked up the last time someone in the party rolled a 7, and he ended up in space.
I was just going to say, that's a divine intervention number.
It is.
Too bad she had a cleric.
Okay, just 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. We've got new tables for things. This is new things.
Well, monk lock. A nice ring to it.
While you're having this conversation, you see a flare of light in the sky. Almost blinds you for a second. As the moon cycle changes for the first time while you've been here.
You hear a little hiss from Aegis at the light.
And I'm having to scroll. Let me see if I can search it instead. This will be quicker.
Is the light painful to you, Aegis?
I'm not usually out during the day, so it's not something I have to worry about.
Oh.
But
Connell uses his big form just to stand in front of the light, so it's like protecting you just a little bit.
And as the light subsides, for the first time in 2 and a bit weeks, almost a sense of normality. As the light fades and the moon appears in a familiar pale color, no longer a vibrant crimson red. Frike. And I would say, Connell as well, you spent time in the Shadowfell. This is the Howling Moon. I don't think Connell would have witnessed the Howling Moon before, but he would have been told about it. Frike would have definitely known about it, would have witnessed it. One of the side effects of this moon is that all sound beneath the moon across the city is amplified. Any thunder damage is a little bit stronger. And specific creatures and beasts gain some new abilities.
Connell drops a small fart after like the chippy starts to digest.
And much like an echoing vuvuzela through the streets of Zindanag.
Jesus Christ.
What? I got nervous.
He just flinches.
The other thing that you will know about this in particular, Frike, is if you stay outside for too long in the moonlight, it can have a negative effect on people. Just something to keep in mind.
We should seek shelter. Somewhere, anywhere, really, that will be safe for the evening.
Do we need... Connell looks towards Aegis. He points towards the dissolving corpse. Do we need to do anything about this? I mean, I did try, but like, I guess it's a hazard.
Is there anything that, to the DM, is there anything that I would know to do with that corpse, or?
I think based on your past experience, you know that the only thing left for that remains of that corpse to do is to return to the earth.
You could try burying it. It's about as good as it gets.
We're kind of on a cobbled street. We can't exactly bury it right here, so I guess we just leave it, I guess.
For now.
All right, let's head off to the tavern and just wait until we figure out what's going on with the men.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to head to a nearby tavern?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 second. I love random generators so much. You know there's a tavern nearby. It doesn't take you long to find it. And as you walk inside, the rather poorly maintained but surprisingly well used Inn of the Goblet and Cock, which is literally what's been generated in front of me.
The Goblin Cock?
The Goblet and Cock.
Okay. I'm calling it Goblin Cock.
I know.
Warrior's cock. Okay.
Dear. You walk in and you see the familiar elven male innkeeper, who you know as Nite.
Nite.
Just, cleaning up behind the bar. There's a few patrons. Everyone looks fairly miserable. It is a sad time at the moment, but there's curious eyes looking at you as you enter in, because obviously there was a bit of commotion outside just down the street, and you guys look like you've been through some shit. So while no one approaches you about it, you can see people are putting two and two together. Some people might move to a table further away out of caution. You're able to grab a table and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connell walks towards the bar. Frike, usual?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, just... What would you like to drink?
Just water is fine, thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Timey?
Well, I'll have whatever you're having. And I look around just because I'm quite nervous in a crowded space.
Are you disguised again? Or are you just robot? Okay.
Disguised.
Okay. Connell approaches the bar. Hi, Nitty. How's it going?
Oh, hello. There's Stalagshitey. Yes, good to see you, Stalagshitey. You alright? How's it going?
Yeah, we just took care of a big threat out there. Big, scary dog monster that's just turned into a goop. Yeah, so, usual. Just another Monday.
Yeah, I've always been more of a cat person myself, honestly. So, cool.
Yeah, up until recently, so were we, but, this happened.
I know, right? Well, I ain't got nothing better to do, so what can I get you?
Have you heard any word of Atticus or Thrasham coming back to town?
Let me roll. Natural 20, holy shit. Funnily enough, now that you mention it...
It just came to me!
It's funny you mentioned that, actually, because I did hear that apparently Thrasham was supposed to be on his way back here. Not sure where he's been, but word had been sent out that he was on his way back. So that's good. Atticus, I don't really like the guy, so I don't really pay attention. I'm sorry. It's no offense to you or anything. I know you have a good relationship with him, but dude, just I don't know. I'm just not all about that lifestyle.
That's like 700-year-old elf just saying "dude" threw me for a sec.
It's the end days, mate. I've lost all, we were once a proud people. We were the highest culture of high society, and now look at me. I'm in the inn of what everyone calls the Goblin Cock, so, I have fallen far. My ancestors will look down upon me and will shake their heads in disappointment for nigh on eternity. So, and Julia fucking left me as well, so,
Oh, not Julia.
Yeah.
Is it because she was dragon?
No, it's because she was a bitch.
I thought she was dragging those nuts. I'm sorry, my guy.
Jesus.
Connell puts up the gold for a pint, 3 pints, a glass of water, and a little extra for knitting.
Okay. Takes a couple of minutes, but the drinks are served.
If there is a tip jar or a tip mug, even anywhere that tips are accepted, she's going to put 15 gold into the tip jar.
Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. I mean, do you want to go for a drink sometime? I recently became available. I'm sorry, that's rude of me. No, maybe next time. It's fine. You go back to your drinks.
These are difficult times.
And I can certainly make them easier for you. Just saying. I'm sorry. I'll let you go back to your drinks. It's fine.
Be well this evening. I know these are strange and difficult times.
I don't know about but I will be.
I get it. So the name of this place is the kind of place this is. Mr. Timey, don't go to the bathrooms, whatever you do.
I'm not that desperate, mate.
You're insulting my friend Mr. Timey here?
No, it's just...
Mr. Timothy Brasstangs III, Esquire, will not accept that.
Mine's gonna kill you.
Yep.
Oh, that's strange. I just thought I heard some really angry Scottish voice somewhere in the distance. There for a second there. I'm not sure what that was about.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you're fucking Iron Brew.
Just the star in the corner popping his head in. It's not you, it's me. I have standards.
Meanwhile,
Anyway,
Aegis is just utterly violetless, just eavesdropping on all of this.
So Connell takes the 3 pints and a glass of water away from this train wreck and back to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I also couldn't think of a usual for Frike, but I'm imagining some kind of blackberry mead. She's probably grown a taste for.
Or Snozzberry.
Oh God, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
They often wild out. Not that we know that, but.
So, Connell hands Mr. Timey a pint of what I assume is like a Pilsner of sorts.
Yeah, full-on Pilsner.
Yep.
Thank you. This is exactly what I like to drink. Just grabs it, doesn't drink any, just nurses it in his hands.
Oh, you're one of those drinkers. Gotcha.
I'm waiting for it to cool down.
Just like full drinking problem from Airplane, just like pours it near his head and it just...
Amazing reference.
Once we get in touch with all of our friends, all of these people again, I don't know what we should do next. We went all the way to the Citadel and felt like we were outmatched. But we don't know how else to find this god that isn't supposed to exist either. And if he's working with my father, then... or supplying my father with power. If this god is his benefactor, then that makes whatever their intentions are with this reconvergence even more devious than I think we could imagine.
Well, whatever answers we're seeking, we're not going to find them sitting here in Zindanark.
Then where do we go? Do we go back to the Citadel, or to the King of Irion? He'll describe a bit about what they remember about the king.
I mean,
Question
always be an
above
idea.
table. Did we see the medallion when we were in Irion?
You never went to Irion. You went to Itherion.
Itherion, that's it. But I don't think we actually saw the medallion in the gelatinous cube? Okay.
No. You were made aware that it was there,
Right.
but you didn't specifically see it. It was after you left there that you'd heard that it went there.
Okay. She might recall this bit of information, and we haven't seen the king since then, but we were able to somewhat track its course. That was the last we heard of the medallion, until it became embedded in my skin.
I wonder if there's this ancient evil that no one's heard of for long times. Surely if we can try and I don't know, well, there has to be some way to kind of trace back roots.
Reese and I tried looking for any record of his existence, but there was nothing, because his name doesn't exist anymore. Because the Raven Queen sundered it, so that it could never be found.
There's a thunk on the table as a mage hand carries over a pint that's way too big for a small boy. As Brim uses mage hand to carry his drink over because it's too big for him. And he climbs up
onto the table.
Yeah, he climbs up on there and he says, I was just thinking about that actually. I don't know a lot about Rhódania and politics still. I'm still fairly new here myself. But Aegis, you said that Demethrin, it is a different place. It is they're not part of Rhódania?
No, I was among a small group invited to deal with the rot problem, which we thought we had dealt with.
But if
the problem is not dealt with, then perhaps the King of Demethrin would be interested in aiding our cause.
Well, I sort of what I was thinking, because people say Demethrin is different, and I don't know the history, but they said it was cut off. They're like a different country. They didn't want anything to do with each other. I just wonder if they have some texts or books or something that are older, maybe.
That's a very good line of thought as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, how do we go to a continent that no longer exists?
Oh, no, just part of it sunk.
Okay.
It's still there?
The other half.
Okay.
Wait, What if we go back in time? Looks at Mr. Timmy. Can we go back in time to when Demethrin was still a thing? When it was still fully intact?
Yeah.
Oh yes, just let me change the rules of time and space. I've sure
Oh,
got
great,
in my
thanks.
back pockets. I look towards Frank and I say, is he the brains of the operation?
I mean, Mr. Timmy, you can make a fate roll if you want.
Oh God.
D100?
D100.
D100. Oh, no. We did hear about. I mean, while this is happening, she'll just recall the mentions of the branches of Palor. Only a few of them are supposed to exist, but if we didn't want to navigate there on a ship, then perhaps in these extreme circumstances, access might be granted to us.
We could certainly attempt it.
So, following on from the 7 earlier, I rolled an 8.
An 8. So with an 8, Mr. Timmy, you can think of at least 8 different laws of time and space that would be broken by Connell's suggestion. So 8 perfectly valid reasons why it should not even be considered.
I list the 8 reasons and just sort of stare at Connell and say, and that is why. No.
And it's strange because one of those reasons is it involves the potential of accidentally moving an entire quadrant of a building into the astral sea by mistake. It's strange how specific that one is.
Well, if there's a rule for it, it's very likely that it's happened previously.
I just imagine with an 8, the tavern band starts playing "The Power of Love" by Huey Lewis and the News. That's what you get.
The Tavern Call version. Yeah. It's just Nitty behind the bar just singing very badly to himself. Nitty okay.
Quick question. Because obviously, formally, before Clockwork Soul was installed, Mr. Timey was basically a glorified bookkeeper. Would he have any knowledge of the age of the books that he watched over, and if any of them would contain information, not necessarily of the information, but of the existence of them?
What an excellent question. Give me a history check.
That would be a total of 15.
15? 15's pretty good. I will say with a 15, you can't specifically recall specific books that would confirm such a thing, but you know that they have books for everything. Even the library of knowledge of which you used to bookkeep, one bookkeep of many bookkeeps in this vast vault of knowledge. They had books for everything, including stuff that wasn't a thing, essentially. If it exists, there's a book of it. If there isn't, there probably still is. That was kind of the motto. So the likelihood is strong, you would surmise, with a 15.
Well, if I know anything about books, it's that there's a book somewhere with something in it that might be useful. Demethrin sounds like a fair shot.
Hey, Connell, wasn't that Rule 34? I'm not proud of myself.
What? He fights and runs away as an old pupil of mine?
Another joke. Just stupid joke. Okay. Then it's, she's thinking of, she'll pull out her map, in fact. the map that might not apply anymore. So she'll just kind of look at the distance between Zundanarg and Demethrin and the Citadel of Marganoth, and she'll just show it to everybody else, and it might be an option, and it's somewhat closer to the Citadel than it would be to stay in Zundanarg, so that does seem like a good plan.
Yeah.
So we do research. Perhaps the forces here might like to gather it in case it's a larger endeavor than just 4 people to take on a deity.
Perhaps whoever is still here and still willing to survive.
Well, do you think that's where we're off to next? Find some kind of way to Demethrin?
I think so. Oh! If the politician's information was worth anything, then the X's on the map would still be there from where he marked possible locations of the branches of Palor.
Mm-hmm.
Was Zundanarg close to one, or were there some like between the 2 points?
There is one in Zundanarg. It is the one that Wes used to get back, if you recall.
Right.
The one that's like covered off by the police tape and stuff?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when the party sullied our name while I wasn't at the table.
Hi, I'm Princess Flora, and this is my slave. Yeah.
And now you get to sully their name, as they're not here.
Or the turntables.
Yes.
Wow. It's faster than booking passage on a ship. If we can get to it, I suppose. Or perhaps they'll let us in. We're on official business. Official Wyld Ones business.
Well, before we even attempt to go near the branches of Palor, we should get ourselves like ready before we just dart straight off. Yeah, because once we go there, we're essentially going into. Well, I mean, I'm going to unmarked territory, unexplored.
Well, we are, but I don't believe Aegis is. If that is, she'll turn to Aegis, and if you are willing to return to Demethrin with us, that is.
Of course. I would be quite keen to see this problem through.
Okay. And, Mr. Timey? You as well?
Well, it's part of my directive, so I feel somewhat obliged to see this through.
Exploring another continent might be good for your experience, then.
I think I would like that.
Given the chaotic state of things around here, I think she's picturing the shops being one of 2 ways. Either A, they're looted and there's nothing left, or B, they're price gouging because it's the end times. That's basically the way she imagines the state of all the shops in Zundanarg, but I agree, Connell, we should refresh our supplies, see what we can see, and stay safe. After some rest, of course. Out of curiosity, how do you sleep, Mr. Timey? How do you recharge?
I don't sleep per se, but I require some maintenance every now and then, yes.
Do you need one of us to help you with that, or?
Oh, no, I just do my thing in my own time while the rest of you are sleeping. Doesn't take
Okay. She'll maybe finish the rest of her drink and nod thoughtfully.
I mean, come to think of it, Frank, you're not much of a sleeper, are you?
Well, no. I meditate.
How about you, Aegis? Are you a sleeper or a meditator?
More of a sleeper.
And I'm a snorter.
Well, don't we know it, Brim?
Oh God, does Brim have one of those? Eep, 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 eep.
Yeah, he's got a sleep apnea mask.
Oh, buddy. Gonna have to get that added on.
That went from cute to, oh no, he's got a chronic condition.
Oh.
It's a nightmare to homebrew that on D&D Beyond, let me tell you.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what the state of Sunanarg's library is like, but I can show you to where it is, and if there's any foresight or information that you guys can get from it, that would be probably good. Oh, now that it's kind of coming back to me, when we were in the Citadel, we came across these like tablets that were kind of almost like forming after each one of us performed like some kind of like event, and it dictated like the Wyld Ones meeting. Would any of you have any like correlation as to who or what that could be? And Connell list off like the specific points of time each of the tablets like represented.
Could we roll like a history check, or does any of this ring a bell?
I'd say for Aegis it's a religion check.
Love that.
Because it is certainly divine in nature, which was evident at the time.
Would this flag anything for Mr. Timing?
I would say not.
Well, I'm grateful it's religion, since Aegis is proficient in that, but also it's a natural 20 for 24.
There it is. Hailing with those nat 20s. Folks, if you've got them, please spam them all over our chat. A natural 20. The idea of prophetic carvings and the like is a fairly common one. Most people don't really believe in prophecy, but certainly in your life experience, you know that there is some merit to it. The way that it was described with a natural 20, I gotta give you something extra, because that's how nat 20s work. I think you probably dwell on the most curious element, which was that it ended with a blank one. And I imagine that as Connor was explaining it, he would have gone into like Wes was at the time was the most outspoken one about it, saying that it's blank, which means we carve our own tablet, we carve our own destiny. With a natural 20, I think you linger on that point and you wonder if it is that, or if it was just merely that they were interrupted. and that whatever is to come to pass is still to come to pass. And it's more of a, I guess you could call it a leap of faith.
He just will convey that as best as he can.
I suppose it comes down to, well, not just Aegis, but how all of you would interpret. How does your character interpret fate and destiny? Is it something set in stone? Or is it for you to decide?
Oh, my answer might be dark.
That's why it's interesting.
I mean, without voicing it out loud, leaving home was, however the circumstances, I mean, her entire life was spent believing she left home one way, her life was going to go one way, and then seeing those panels and that knowing from the beginning that this was mapped out by whatever entity, whatever being chose their path, knowing how much her father was really responsible for in the end, that like part of his plan still exists as an unpleasant reminder in her chest, as a plague. I think she has no idea what to make of destiny right now, because it feels like a majority of her life was laid out for her. She's trying to decide if she has any control over her life left, or if she's met her match against the god with no name. But, she finishes the last of her mead and sets her glass down. I'll see about arranging us some rooms for the night. And without another word, she'll get up to go and talk to Nite and get some room keys.
I mean, I can give you mine if you want. No, sorry. No.
You know what, Frank? Let's stay somewhere else.
He is incredibly forward.
It's strange, but, you know, it's not the first time, and she'll recall the dwarf who she kissed on the cheek to get an axe discount once. But she'll just, it's not worth it to her at this point, because she's like, seeking shelter is more important right now, so she'll somehow pry 2 room keys out of his trunk.
He will provide you with rooms for the night.
She'll hold on to one herself and hand one to Connell. If you don't mind doubling up rooms.
Yeah, sounds good. I guess I'll show these guys to the library.
Why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Perhaps, you show them to the library and I could take Aegis or Mr. Timey shopping.
Yeah, sounds good.
What all do we need to pick up?
Healing potions, I imagine. She's gonna
any tools.
Pull out her battle axe, and it's probably like partially corroded in places, probably never been cleaned. Perhaps a somewhere to clean our weapons, if not get them replaced with suitable alternatives. So we'll coordinate this little exchange and.
Mm-hmm.
Since the moon just changed phases, though, I think Frank's going to emphasize that they wait until that's no longer a thing, and it is more ideal to go outside again.
Question is, how long will it be? Because these lunar phases, they don't stick to the same pattern. Sometimes they can shift in 10 minutes, sometimes they can shift in a few days.
Perhaps they have special moon parasols.
I mean, you would know it's direct exposure.
Right.
And one of you is certainly well equipped for hiding from the sun. So, it's possible.
Did we feel anything on our skin when we were outside?
No.
Okay.
It's prolonged exposure. And if things
She would
start
have
to
found a way to mention that.
But it's interesting
just
that
gonna get his...
It's interesting that you say that, because as you do start getting ready, you just take a glance at the back of your hand, and there is a darker spot on the back of your hand than there was previously. Just faintly.
Black spot. Well, I sure would like some of my kids back, not gonna lie. So we don't have to long rest, but like, that was her thinking of like waiting out the.
Are you begging me for a long
phase.
rest?
No.
Would it help?
No.
We could go out, perhaps look for a handy dandy moon parasol on the way. All right, screw it. Let's go out.
Concerned I can loan you my cloak.
Oh, well then, I don't want to sacrifice any protection you have.
I'm covered otherwise, but...
Oh. How about until we find a moon parasol somewhere?
Of course.
Thank you, Aegis.
He uncloaks the clasped skeletal hands and, with permission, would reach up and put it around her shoulders.
How tall is Aegis, I was going to say?
5'6".
Oh, she's 6'1". It's going to flap a little bit around her waist, but...
Connor wraps his cape around his head. Just to kind of have draping over a little bit.
I think Brim will sort of run behind Frike and climb up Frike's back and become like a backpack underneath the cloak. He might fall asleep.
Yeah, that feels about right. Okay, library, then the market, and meet back here. It sounds like a plan. She's realizing what she's suggesting as she's saying it and just getting more nervous.
What's the worst that could happen?
We'll do the market first, and just reflexively she'll look to Aegis.
He pulls out his little notepad and he's got a little list of all the shopping ingredients.
All right. Well, I'd say this is a good time for us to take our bio break, as you can decide what's on your shopping list for when we come back.
Okay.
Folks, we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Do stick around. Please enjoy the art reel and the MCM London photo reel that we have. And we will be back very, very soon. See you soon. And welcome back, dear friends, to the Rhódania Chronicles, right here on Quest Junkies. We rejoin our group as they prepare for a shopping trip of sorts. They've secured rooms for the night. The moon cycle has shifted, and they're aware that extended exposure beneath this particular moonlight can be somewhat problematic, so they are going to prepare for that with a moon parasol, apparently. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Any final preparations before you leave the inn?
Recasting Disguise Self, because I didn't realise it's only got an hour on it. So.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
No spell slots for me.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you had like a hat of disguise or something.
No.
Did one of our party have a hat of disguise? Or am I thinking of a different game?
You might be thinking of a different game?
Thinking of a different game.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Are you keeping the same disguise, or?
Yes.
All right.
Until people point out I look very outlandish, I'm just going to keep on looking outlandish.
Okay. With that being said, you head back out into the streets of Zundanag. An air of uncertainty in the streets. Are you making your way there stealthily, or
Yeah.
just
Err on
casual?
the side of caution.
Okay.
Stealthing.
So let's have a marching order first.
To the shops?
Yeah? You know full well these streets are not safe.
Yeah.
You literally just got done with combat in the streets, so...
Yeah, Franken just might bring up the rear.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Connell will lead the way towards the marketplace.
All right, so...
Come on.
So I'll ask for a stealth check from everybody, and if Connell's leading the way, I'd like a survival check from Connell.
11.
Do you want stealth first and then survival?
Sure. We'll do that way, yeah.
So that is a 15 for stealth.
Mm-hmm.
And a 12 for survival.
Okay. How's everyone else doing on the stealth?
Well, I have disadvantage. Originally rolled an 18, then rolled a 3 for a total of 2.
Excellent. We love it.
It just sounds like
And a 16.
it just sounds like two saucepans like heading off the ground.
Yeah, it's like the metal equivalent of in Monty Python when they're walking around with the coconuts. Okay.
Yeah.
You all feel very confident that you are cautiously moving stealthily through these dark streets. You take your time, going the familiar route towards the marketplace. It takes maybe about half an hour, going at a slow pace, double checking every corner as you go past. The streets are eerily quiet. Every now and again you see someone just like open up the shutters on the windows, peek out, look at the moon, and then poke their head back in. The streets remain quiet. The first bit of life that you begin to hear is from the marketplace, which somehow is still operating, but at a much more limited capacity. What you remember as a bustling marketplace now is like a strange, perpetual night market. There's only a few stalls open. There's a strange vibe in the air, because the few people that are out are very uncertain of the safety. But you can also see that, like, the sort of city militia, the local guard, does have quite a heightened presence on the streets. It seems that the changing of the phase of the moon has alerted the authorities somewhat to just prepare for anything. But you find yourself in the night market.
We're going to the night market.
So what are you looking for first?
Patch, did you say are people like covering themselves from the moonlight?
Not particularly.
I guess as like we're shuffling through like stalls and stuff, like we're just gonna like Connor's just gonna like instruct people to like stand under some shelter.
Okay. I won't make you roll persuasion. Like, people recognize the Wyld Ones at this point, and they will sort of listen, and they'll, like, you'll see like some, like, sheets being pulled out above certain stalls that don't have them already, and people are listening generally. And yeah, still an air of caution
on
in
the
the air.
shopping list might be either cloaks or coverings from the moonlight.
Moon parasols.
Well, you certainly know of a tailor's in the market. Whether or not it's open,
He's
you'd have to-
been out of town.
He has, and some time has passed since he went out of town as well.
Yeah, I think Frank might head toward there because she's like comforted by a familiar face, I think is her logic.
Okay. So you make your way over to the tailor's, and you see that there's like a dim bit of candlelight coming from the interior, and the door is actually open. It's open.
Oh dear. This went a lot better when she announced herself, so she'll just clear her throat and call out, Astarion?
You hear hushed voices from inside. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
DC 14.
It's a 7.
7.
Not one on the die for a +6.
Hushed voices coming from the interior of the shop. Difficult to figure out who from, but multiple.
Astarion, it's Frank.
You hear the drawing of a blade. Shing.
Okay, just thinking on my feet. You once told me how much you valued that our experiences were a lot alike and you felt seen by me. She's trying to tell him something that like he might remember about her.
There's a tense few moments of silence. You hear more whispers, and you hear some footsteps begin to approach the doorway, and you just see a hand peer out from the side of the doorway with a blade, like a kitchen knife, trembling hand, small hand, and you hear a voice call out, "If you're a monster, please go away."
Oh. I'm not a monster.
That sounds like something a monster would say to make you think that they weren't a monster.
Monsters don't usually announce themselves.
Is that a valid point? I think that's a valid point. Okay, but this is our shop now, so be good. And a figure steps into the doorway. It is a child, looks no older than about 9, 10.
Okay. I think she's gonna take a page out of Connell's book and kind of lean into this angle of, hello from the Wyld Ones. I'm Frike. You say this is your shop? It's possible we might be able to give you money for, what is it you're selling?
Frank, strike a pose, quick, that'll get their attention.
Baldur's Gate 3, hands on the hip pose.
She said they had money. Well, money can be traded for goods and services, so I hear. You may enter our shop.
Okay. Just kind of turn and look at everybody else and just that silent, like, be on the lookout before she just enters with her hands still up.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Following.
Connell's gonna follow in, but like, not hand right at the blade, but like just kind of like resting his like hand on it, just casually walking in through the door.
All right. One by one, you enter the shop. As the little girl sort of stands, like moves backward, and the hand still trembling with the blade. What do I say next? As around about 6 blades unsheathe and are held to your necks, as a group of bandits in the shop immediately surround you all, and one steps forward, like bald head tattooed, about 3 teeth in his gob, like, oh, it's amazing what thaumaturgy can do, innit? And he flicks a gold coin to the little girl. Well done, love. You go off on to Mum and Dad now. We've got business to take care of. And the girl just catches the coin and runs off, drops the knife. Well, look at you. Look at what we've got here. Couple of, Wyld Ones? I heard those people were killed. Huh. Don't seem very wild to me.
This is cute, guys, right? This is adorable.
She's gonna okay, 6 bandits, adult bandits.
Yes.
The child is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Children are gone.
Children.
There was only one.
Okay.
Part of it was thaumaturgy.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to throw up Hour of Reaping. Every creature within 30 feet of me needs to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Okay. Every creature.
Yep. Including
You guys. Okay.
What happens to me?
You become frightened of me until my next turn. So I imagine it's not dissimilar to what she did at the tournament with Deborah. She's going to reach up and like pull her hair so it looks like her head just lops off and rolls to the side, and she's like yo-yoing her own head for a little bit, and then rolls it back on like Beetlejuice and just like, you heard right. We're back. Here to take out anybody who tries to fuck with us.
So we got, what's the DC?
14.
Okay, so we've got a natural 1. And we've got a 15. We've got a 9 and a 10. And a 9 and a 16. So 4 fail to succeed. So 4 of them are like, oh, what the fuck is that? The one that was speaking and the guy stood next to him, so like, well, I'll give you credit, that's pretty good. It takes more to fool a thug, a bandit of my pristine heritage, my history.
Achieved, accomplished man that you are. This isn't even the worst fight we've had in the last 24 hours. We'll be on our way now.
Pull yourself together, lads. Fucking hell, what? You think we've just been raided by, what, half-fire tails? You think they just come in after a good stream and think they can, you know, be all like, hey, no, we don't have that. We give them a shout-out, though, because that's very good. Thank you for raiding this very particular moment. I'm going to give you a shout-out. I can spell. Thank you so much for raiding. I cannot do commands. That's why that didn't work. Half-fire tails, thank you so much. There we go. Pull yourself together, lads. It's just a trick. You know, like I just did. Yeah. It's a trick. A red's fine, I think. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, lads.
And anyone that did fail the throw would hear a Grim Reaper voice, kind of like death itself, speak when Frike says, "Do you care to find out?"
Well, by this time, I'd say 6 seconds has passed.
Okay.
Is it
Fine.
obvious that these are hostile or about to be hostile?
Oh, they're certainly giving off that vibe.
Also, he just looks impressed.
He just is just like, this is cool.
She'll just eye the other two. Have it your way, then. She's gonna throw up Armor of Agathis.
All right. Let's roll initiative.
Goodness.
Okay, so let me write this down. 10 to
At the
5.
very least, we're getting Astarion's shop back for him.
So they rolled a 4. So I hope you can beat a 4. 25 to 20.
23.
23. Okay. 20 to 15.
18.
18.
18 as well.
Ooh. Now, do you want to dex off or do you want to roll these?
What's your dex?
-1.
Okay.
I'll allow Connell to be
Gotcha.
quicker.
For a second, I thought the robot was going to be able to out backflip me.
Frike, what'd you get?
14.
14. Brim also got a 14.
Oh.
He's still on your back. I'm assuming you have better dex than Brim. Brim's got a 13.
It's a 15.
Yeah, so you go before Brim. Frike and Brim. All right, top of the round, Aegis.
The one who was smack talking. I'd like to grab his knife hand and cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay. Constitution save?
No. It's a roll to hit. I just have.
Oh, it's a roll to hit. Of course, yeah. I forget. Go ahead.
Sorry, this is nasty. Does a 27 hit?
You know, it doesn't actually. Yeah, of course it does.
Hang on, I need to get out 3d10s. Nice. That's 18 necrotic damage.
18 necrotic damage. Okay, so maths.
And if possible, can I steal his weapon?
Let me roll for him.
Yoink.
Disadvantage because of inflict wounds. That's a 2. Yes, you can.
Careful, you could hurt yourself.
Fucking hell. Get him, lads. What does the inflict wounds look like, actually?
There's just this like soft white glow that kind of radiates up his veins.
Amazing. All right. That's your action. Anything else?
Do I have any bonus actions? Did we take a short rest at the tavern?
You didn't specify that you did.
No.
Okay. Fair and valid. Can I harness divine power to regain an expended spell slot?
Certainly. You can do that.
Awesome. Then that will be me done.
All right, Conal McGinnisy, we are over to you.
Okay, so we're in a tailor shop, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Connell he's just gonna shrug as he like grabs one of those like mannequin heads. He's gonna take the hat off the mannequin, toss it to Mr. Timey, and he's gonna bonk one of the thugs with the mannequin head.
All right, roll for an improvised weapon strike.
Yes, sir.
Are you going for the lead one, or are you going for one of the other ones?
Whichever crony was rushing towards him first, he's just gonna. What I'm imagining is like Jackie Chan style, just like, all right.
Okay, gotcha.
That is an 18 plus 8, so 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So that is 7 points of bludgeon damage as I bonk him with the mannequin head, and almost for my second attack, he's just gonna like kind of just like club it off like the one beside him.
Mm-hmm.
That's only a 12 to hit.
A 12 hits.
Yeah, so I think like he hits the first one and then he hits the other one in the back of the head with like the return swing, dealing 5 points of bludgeon damage.
Okay, 2 heavy attacks on these guys. These guys are weak. The lead one not so much, but those good ones.
And for his bonus action, he's gonna he imagines that there's like a bit of like the measuring tape, so he's gonna grab on those. He's gonna like kind of grapple him as his bonus action. So contested strength or acrobatics check from the guy.
Ooh. That's a 17.
He breaks out of the measuring tape. I rolled a 7.
Yeah, he's been measured for a custom suit before. He knows what's coming, so he's able to, despite the brutal assault to the head, he's able to just dodge out of the way to the side.
And here I was trying to get you fitted for your new suit.
He doesn't say anything. He just grunts at you.
Perhaps we should get them fitted for coffins.
Cobalt turns to Aegis and is just like, what the fuck was that?
I've missed Aegis.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Timey, I believe we are over to you.
So he's gonna catch the hat that was thrown at him, just pop it on his noggin, and then sort of inhale a little bit. I'd like to try and get as many of them in a cone as I can.
Okay.
The cone being ideally, it's a 60-foot cone, so however many I can get in a 60-foot cone, I guess.
I mean, this is a small tailor's shop, so that's probably all of them. And these guys.
Yep.
They're the Wyld Ones, they can take it.
We've taken worse.
Yeah.
Just slowly going to start, like, the beginning of a sneeze. And
Yes.
then all of a sudden and cone of cold.
Cone of Cold. Amazing. All right. Is that roll to hit?
No, they need to make me, including all of the Wyld Ones, a DC 16 con save.
Constitution save. Let's have a look.
So close. 15.
I got it on the roll.
That's all 6 of them failed.
Quickly look.
So close. I was one short.
24.
Okay.
Not everyone's going to be good with this then, at least. It is only half damage if you it's not a no damage thing.
Can I deflect missiles?
Cone of Cold is not a missile.
Just saying, I think Frike still has 2 of my d8s left from last session.
It's true. Oh yeah. So I can absorb some of the damage.
You might need to.
But let me just roll those 8d8 for you.
Uh-huh.
These dice were rolled to you by Subfay. Eat fresh.
Fresh bites for your epic fights.
Total of 41 gold damage.
41 cold damage.
Halved for people who passed. I do apologize.
All
Is
right.
it 20 or 21?
Okay.
It would be half to 20.
I'll absorb 10 of that for 31.
In that short instance of the cold about to reach Connell, you see his like rocky skin almost like turn into like a slight hue of like an icy shade as he like is able to resist some of the cold damage. So I will happily take 10 damage.
Mr. Timey, please describe how 5 of these 6 bandits instantly perish inside this tailor shop.
So, with it being flavored as a sneeze, the bodies are going to freeze with the icicles obviously facing as if they've just been hit by a very strong gust of wind. And they're just going to be frozen in place, I imagine, just sort of like the last look of horror just splattered across their expressions.
Mm-hmm.
As Mr. Timey just rubs his nose a little bit.
All right. So that was your action.
I don't think I can really do much with my bonus, so...
Kick in the shin.
I'm going to bonus action contemplate my decisions.
Excellent. Frike. There is one left standing who looks very frostbitten and very hurt.
Grim probably feels like a bit of a bumpy ride because Freck's teeth are probably chattering. But she's gonna go for the 4.
Oh, I never rolled for Brim.
attacks.
I should roll for Brim.
Please roll.
Oh yeah. Shit.
That's
Mr.
a 10.
Tammy, what have you done? What have you
10.
brought?
That's a fail.
So how much was that? 41?
41.
It's fine. Brim's a tank.
Thank you, Bird.
Brim's actually got
Okay.
more health than all of you. He rolled so fucking good.
Oh my god, my dice. Okay. Out of the... Oh, wait. No, okay, 3 plus 5. I think out of the 4 attacks, 2 of them made it. Yeah, 2 of them made it. Over 12. So I roll for...
So he has different AC to the others. So what did you get?
Oh! A 3, a 5, an 11, and a 6.
His AC is 15.
It's a plus 6 to each of those, though.
Oh, so total
So-
was...
I think 1... 11, the 11 plus 6, I think, made it.
Yeah, so that
So
was
one of them hits. Okay. My dice hate me lately. And I dropped that one. Okay, for a grand total of 6 bludgeoning damage, right in the jaw.
So the reason why the other attacks missed was because the frostbite was so severe. When you make contact with his jaw, his head comes clean off his shoulders as his icy form shatters.
All right. She just gathers Brim into her arms and holds him with her teeth chattering from the cold. They're both shivering.
As Brim jumps out, produces a small dagger and is like, "I'm ready again." Wait. This keeps happening to me. I need to be quicker. Huh, okay.
Oh, they were...
Puts his dagger away.
We have bigger fish to fry.
Wait, fish? Oh, I am a bit hungry.
A bit quick on the trigger there, Mr. Jaime.
I'm sorry, I've been holding that in all day.
Oh. We should find warm jackets somewhere in the shop.
You own this place?
Saurian.
You hear a voice call out from outside. What in the 9 hells is going on here? My shop? And you turn and you see... and you're Bridget. Describe what we see. I'll let you take this one.
Describe a Saurian? Okay.
Yeah.
Bridget, you're blushing.
How did they describe in the game? Something like the dangerous smile, the glowing red eyes, the curly hair. I imagine he'd probably be smart enough to like cover up in this like weird changing moonlight, so he's probably got some sort of cloak, I would imagine. And yeah, you know, pirate of Penzance shirt.
I've barely been back in this blasted city for a couple of days, and you... Why is there dead people in my shop?
I can take care of the corpses for you.
Did that porcelain doll just speak to me?
We got your shop back.
I wasn't aware I lost it to begin with, darling.
A couple of amateur bandits tried to move in on your territory, and we took it back.
Oh. You could have let me deal with it. I could do with a snack. Never mind. I'm not one for ice pops, so... I'll go get a mop. And he walks inside his very frozen shop.
Bit drafty, I know, but things have changed here, as you can see, gesturing toward the darkened sky.
Yes, it's rather dreadful, actually. I mean, I don't mind. You know, no sunlight is good for me, but what is going on? I've been away. I've missed so much, I think.
You have, and given that this is someone that she has a modicum of trust for, she'll just explain as much as she knows about the reconvergence. And end it with, we're not on the same plane of existence anymore, without actually elaborating how that happened or who was responsible.
Oh, well, that seems perfectly... Yes. I mean, that's how I came here. It's a shame it couldn't have brought me back, but, well, maybe next time.
A lot more monsters, though. We've been cleaning up the streets, as it were.
Oh, well, that's rather commendable of you, yes. Do you extend your services to shops? One could do with a bit of a clean now.
We could, while we're still in town. We might be traveling on to the next continent.
Oh. I suppose you're here to barter for goods and services again?
Well, I suppose... Aegis, what is the climate of Demethrin? Is it warmer, colder? Do you think we might need new clothing?
Based on the current weather, what would I know about that? But also, while Frike is talking to Astarion, if Aegis were to use his eyes of the grave, would he see Astarion as anything different?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you would. Definitely formally alive, in a manner of speaking. I think you would recognize... you know what? Make me a history check. And to answer your other question, you would say that the climate's probably about the same as it is in Rhódania. No
Yeah, similar climate.
dramatic shift.
That is a flat 15.
A flat 15, okay. So you've never met one, but you've certainly heard about vampires. And the like. Certainly seems like it could be one. Fascinating, really.
The rest of the party would just see, you know how, like, cat's eyes flash in the dark? You just see a flash of, like, pale pink.
Oh, so no climate change then? I suppose we aren't in terrible need of clothing, but shelter will become important in this next moon cycle, because prolonged exposure to the moon above can have disastrous effects.
Oh, for God's sake, I just got used to not having to deal with the bloody sunlight, and now you're saying I have to watch for the moonlight. Next you'll be saying I should
The
just go into the
shadow
Underdark and live there instead.
It's
It
not
might-
bad.
I've heard stories. I don't know, maybe your Underdark is better than, well, different than mine. I'm not sure.
Well, when you grow up there, it's what you're used to.
That is a fair comment. Right, so, are you asking for protection from the moonlight?
No, we have our own shelter, but consider this a good turn for a friend, since the streets are not as safe as they could be right now. So Welcome back. Be safe. We might be on our way to pick up some other supplies we need for our journey ahead.
Well, message received and slightly understood. Thank you, darling. And nice to meet your friends. I thought you said they were furry.
We've met some new friends along the way. It's a long story, but Astarian meet Aegis and Mr. Timey.
Pleasure to meet you.
Just shivering.
I suppose the others are back at camp, as it were.
In a manner of speaking.
I believe this is our first time meeting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Connell.
true.
Mm-hmm. Connell holds out his hand. Nice to meet you.
Yes, quite. A firm handshake.
I'll take the bodies for you.
Oh, that's just dreadfully kind of you. You can bring him again.
Mr. Timey takes off the bowler hat and hands it back.
Oh, I didn't even see that was mine. Thank you for returning. Rather charming, if I might say.
Pleasure's all mine.
It can be if you say the right things.
Just blank stare.
Connell's got like one body on his shoulder that he's dragging the other one by the scruff. Aegis, where would you like me to
Oh,
take
I can
these guys?
carry the other ones, or I can try.
Well, this is very
Probably
awkward.
somewhere where we can bury them.
Okay.
Yes, at least.
Did we need to get cloaks before?
Oh, cloaks. Yes, for a bit more coverage in the moonlight. That may be of some help.
And a parcel.
And a moon parasol.
A moon parasol. For the hell of it, Frike, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. All right.
I just had an idea of it, just like, yes, the moon parasol of legend, 4,000 years ago.
Oh my
The
god.
ancient deities of the moon gathered together.
Well, the one nice roll I've had in honor of Astarian, that's a filthy 20.
Filthy.
Nice.
I do have a soft spot for you, darling. He'll head into the back and he'll pull out some cloaks, and then he heads back again and comes out. I think this will go with your style perfectly, and hand you what I can probably only describe as a vibrant, bright pink Lolita brolly. This could work as a moon parasol, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. She's shivering, so she's gonna wait to return Aegis's cloak, but she'll unfold it and look at the design. It's just like my Strahd fan, the Ravy pink. I imagine yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yes. Do I have that? I do. Not. Well. Cloaks for everyone else? Connell, do you need any protection? Any more protection, at least?
That face.
Well, I mean, yeah, Connell will take a slightly thicker cloak. I think he was well equipped going up north, but like an extra one would hurt.
Mm-hmm. All right. You each take some cloaks and a moon parasol. I suppose you can add that to your D&D Beyond inventory. Well, if that's everything, all the best in whatever the blazes it is that you're doing, do stay alive. I tolerate you in a nice way.
We're going to see if we can't make the moon less dangerous and put this world back where it's supposed to be.
Well, if you can put me back where I'm supposed to be, I'd be thrilled.
We can see if... We'll add it to the agenda.
Marvelous. I have some important business to get back to at home. Certain people that need putting in the right place, so to speak.
I think she'll situate Brim underneath her cloak and the parasol as well, and be well, and she'll twirl the parasol on her way out.
Farewell, darlings. Farewell. Venture forth and all that. You head back out into the streets. Where next?
Aegis, where are we dumping the bodies?
Preferably somewhere where we can bury them.
Is there a plot of dirt nearby the marketplace that we can swing by real quick?
I'm gonna say yeah, there probably is somewhere nearby.
Cool. Place the bodies on the plot of dirt.
You throw them down and the ice shatters.
Perfect.
He just
Less of us.
gives them last rites, and
I'm assuming there's nothing left to loot.
Loot
Afraid
that
not.
body.
Can't loot that body.
Oh,
Had a feeling.
in the future, should you wish to check their belongings, please do that before I have given their rights.
Okay. Well, they're in pieces, so I suppose that was a dumb thing to do. Warmth. She... Her entire being is vibrating from the cold.
Connell grabs like the frozen hand and points. We should go to the marketplace, guys.
To the night market.
Oh, Connell disrespecting the dead after last rites have been performed.
Oh God.
They've just been rotten. It's all good.
Rips an arm off, scratches his forehead.
Oh my days. What next?
The shop to look for some healing potions, maybe?
Okay. For the sake of time and brevity, let's say that... Okay. You find a place that you've used before, and they have 3 potions available. 50 gold each.
Ooh. I'll go in for one.
Connell will buy one as well.
Mm-hmm.
you just will pick up the last one.
All right. Do you have 3 potions?
Mr. Timey, are you able to drink these?
Exactly. Is
You're
it
muted.
your?
Hello? Hello?
I'm muted.
No, you're fine.
Oh, for a second, your audio was...
Oh,
yeah,
cut
but
me
I can hear
out.
you now.
What is it exactly?
It's a potion of healing.
You can't say I've ever acquired the taste. It's the first time for everything.
Would healing just be maintenance? Like something you have to download?
Right, you can't just ask that kind of question. It's very rude.
I'm sorry. I'm so cold.
All I know is that the magics that Aegis used earlier seem to positively affect my system, so if that is somewhat similar, then I can only assume.
Okay.
Not to like use the whole potion, but Connell's just gonna like kind of like almost like take like a pinky's worth and like dab it on Mr. Timey just to see like does it have any like effect.
It makes his face damp as you dab it onto his face.
The finger would actually go through the skin.
Oh, true, yeah.
God. Ah.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
Would much prefer it if you didn't finger me, Mr. McGinnisy.
Apologies, I'll ask for permission next time.
There's a voice coming from around the corner. You just hear a little girl go, "Mummy wants fingering."
Oh my.
That little girl's got the best passive perception in the whole verse.
Yep,
Everything's louder though.
it is.
It is.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you gotta keep that in mind.
Oh dear.
Can we listen to see what the mum's explanation is?
It's a very simple one, which is just ask your father.
Father. Connell is gonna swing by like some kind of book vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Or if like anybody selling like scrolls, because the whole escape from the Shadowfell and being in the Citadel, he's interested in what scrolls can do.
Okay, interesting. Is there a particular kind of scroll you're looking for?
Mainly browsing, but I assume like the scrolls are going to be like with the books. So while he's like looking at the scrolls, he's like, okay, glossing over what they are, and he's gonna look at the stack of books to see if he can like find anything like about like legendary weapons or weapons of legend or like stuff lost to time.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
It's only a 3.
It's only a 3.
Mm.
You get a 15-minute conversation about the intricacies of inscribing magic into scrolls that would be very suited for a Bob talk. Say with a 3, most of it goes completely over your head. You inquire about books and things, and they just sort of say, "We're not a library. We just sell bits and bats. Sorry."
That's all good. To the library.
Then yeah, to the library. I think I implied getting her weapons cleaned, but that could just happen off screen.
Yeah, that's easy enough to have arranged.
Yeah.
You can do that. Let me just check something.
Gonna go to the library. We're all gonna be safe. We're all gonna have a great time.
Nothing can hurt us in a library. That is where we learn and gain knowledge.
Yes, but knowledge, power, and power can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And it will be mine.
Also,
actually,
it would be cheaper. Oh, sorry.
I just want to pick up a bag of caltrops because, as you'll see next Monday in the Zelda one-shot, caltrops are dangerous.
I was wondering if something like that would pop up.
Hmm.
I'll allow it.
Well, you allow it the way I did.
We'll see. We don't want to spoil things for people.
No. I assure you.
Okay, so you make your way over to the library. It's the one that Frike visited a little whiles back with Reese. You actually find that the doors, again, are wide open. But even with the magnified sound beneath the moon, there is just silence from the library. It is abandoned.
Oh boy.
Which could be a good thing.
Silence in the library.
Silence in the
Good
library.
Doctor Who fan.
Yes.
I have
Approaching with caution.
Okay.
when we were in the tailors, I would have been able to study Astarian for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming.
Sure.
Awesome. When I recast Disguise Self, I look exactly like him.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Downloading appearance. Oh my god, you got character skins!
Yeah.
Amazing.
Literally.
That's amazing. Oh. That is much better of a stealth check.
Oh, we're stealthing on in here?
Yeah.
Alright.
21.
21. Very good.
10.
10.
23.
23. Very good.
And also 10.
All right. You enter the library, feeling the weight of every footstep, the magnified sound, concerned that it will alert something, the loud clanking of Mr. Timey entering behind you.
Clank, thunk, clank, thunk.
And perhaps the hammer and sword on Connell's back just keep clattering. Thankfully, it seems the library is indeed abandoned. But you have the library to yourselves.
What is it we were looking for?
If there's any information for our friends here about Demethrin, and if someone can help me find anything about legendary weapons, that'd be great. And if it's a picture book, if it's like a pop-out picture book, even better.
I think we're on our own here, but I'll look with you. I think she might have scrolls on the brain as well. Perhaps any spell scrolls that might be lying around.
Okay. So, how do we want to resolve this? Let's have one thing from each of you, and you can each roll. And then we'll see what you get. So who would like to go first, and what would they like to look for?
Well, Connell's looking for a book on like if there's anything on like any kind of legendary weapons.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That's better. That's 15.
15, okay. I'm just trying to see, because I have some very, very old files somewhere on here. I have just reorganized my organization, and now I can't find anything, because typical.
Takes a book off the wall. The Sword in the Stone.
No, I got it.
The story of stone soup.
I've got it. So, you rolled a 15, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll say you don't find any particular books about legendary weapons specifically, but a book does catch your eye. It is entitled The Swords of Insight. Now, Connell, being someone who has aspired for years to be a hero, you would know of the Swords of Insight. These are the heroes of old. This is where all the great legends came from. A group of adventurers, much like yourselves, that came together in a time of need to save the world from a crisis, an invading army of Dragonborn long ago, which were repelled by a group of adventurers who became known as the Swords of Insight. And the reason why it catches your eye is because each member was rumored to have wielded weapons of great power. This book contains information on what those weapons are. With a 15, I will say some of the pages aren't complete, so you won't learn the current whereabouts of said weapons, but you do know that there are various legendary weapons that exist within the world and could be potentially sought out.
Are there any, from seeing Frank's map earlier with the red X's on it where the Princess of Palor lead, are there any that are like cross references with the previous or with the speculated location?
I will say, rather than that specifically, you would think more to the idea of, well, if these weapons are somewhere, they could be where these heroes came from.
Okay.
And you quickly read through and you see that one came from Etheriond, one came from Eredel, one came from Zundanag, another from Briathalond, which is a city that no longer exists. One came from the Grand Library of Zavillan, which is where Bob was from. You would have heard him talk about that incessantly. Another one from the city of Inyath, and another one from a tiny little village called Staygrove. I will provide you with said document. Something
Yeah.
I typed up at the beginning of Campaign 1 years ago.
Callbacks.
Indeed. This is some of the oldest lore I have for this world. So that's what you get with a 15.
Awesome.
Who's next?
Could I argue that I'm attempting to perceive where a bounty of scrolls might be apart, maybe a section apart from books, if there is a section just dedicated to scrolls? You'd like to sort through that section and find it.
Okay. Are you looking specifically for spell scrolls?
Yes.
Okay. There are no spell scrolls in the library. They have scrolls, but there's no spell scrolls specifically.
Okay. Can I change tactics, or is that...
I'll allow it. What do you want to do?
Thinking of what Connell said, information about Demethrin and if it's been updated at all since part of the continent fell into the sea.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
It's not gonna be good. It's a 9.
A 9. You find a couple of books about Demethrin. There's very little information in them. They haven't been updated for many years. And I imagine if you were to show them to Aegis, Aegis would probably be able to just from their knowledge of being in Demethrin for a short time, would be able to fact check a lot of it as incorrect.
Well, then that's me.
Okay. Who's next?
Mr. Timey is going to specifically look for any books that ascertain to mechanical engineering in any way, just for personal curiosity.
Interesting. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Uh, 18.
18. So you find one book, which is the closest thing you could liken to that, as technological advancements in Rhódania are scarce, but the ones that are present are thanks to the convergence. And you pick up a book which belonged originally to the Finegrat Society, which is an organization of artificers. One which was updated in recent years by scholars from the city of Caithern, a city that appeared during the reconvergence, that is technologically advanced. Definitely a point of interest for one such as yourself.
Are you able to just stow the book for future reading?
The book's been abandoned, so yeah. The library's been abandoned, so yeah.
That is all.
All right. Aegis, anything from you?
Yes. Can I look for any sort of, like, mythos for the white-winged death goddess?
Ooh, okay. Give me an investigation check. This is a high DC.
Yeah.
But you roll good, so I have faith.
Okay, and I don't have guidance, so that's off the table. I'm on D20. Investigation, that is a 13.
A 13. I'm afraid not. You find several books about death, about the gods, about the goddess of death, the Raven Queen. Nothing detailing what came before, other than the stories which everyone already knows. Nothing more, unfortunately.
Okie dokie.
And then eventually you all reconvene back in the center of the room with your findings, or lack thereof.
Might be the time to get some rest before we continue.
Yeah, sounds good.
Can I get a D100 from one of you? This is to roll to see what Brim finds in the library.
Someone else.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Let's see how bad. If I get like a 9 or a 6, this would just be perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be.
45.
45. He waddles over with this pristine-looking book. I found this. I don't think it's going to be any use, but it looked funny, and it actually reminded me of Rhódania and the Wyld Brew. So I thought when she comes back, I might give it to her as a gift. And he turns it over so you can read the cover, and it says, Recipes for Disaster, a cookbook.
Oh my goodness. She's gonna love it.
I hope so. I hope she's okay.
Me too.
I third that. Frank, can I see your map of Rhódania?
She'll hand it over.
And Connell's just like looking for all those locations. And he's, more specifically, he's paying attention to the one that's supposedly in Sundenark. And he's trying to figure out, like, have I heard of this guy before? Am I familiar?
With the hero of legend.
Hmm.
You absolutely have heard of him before. Your hero, Thrasham Foe, is named after him.
Okay.
He is a descendant of the original Thrasham Foe. As you go on to read, if I bring this document up again. He allegedly wielded a blade. Quite appropriately for what you're dealing with. It was known as the Wailing Death. And it was a blade that seemed to hold some sort of ancient necrotic energy. And wielding the blade could drive a godlike fear into the hearts of those that dared to face the Swords of Insight in battle.
Are there any of the weapons that are like a battle axe?
There is.
And is there one that is a bow?
Not a bow specifically, but I can go. I will.
Okay.
I'll just quickly go through them before we wrap up for tonight. There is a maul, which is called Oathsunder. There is a great axe, which is known as Kermadis. I will write all these down for you later.
Yeah.
There is the Wailing Death, the blade. There is a great hammer, which was known as the Sanctifier.
Ooh.
There was a set of crystalline armlets, known as the Armlets of the Villain, which is a monk weapon. There was the Odachi of the Dawn Lion, which is a katana. And then there was a longsword, known as Dragon's Bane. This was the group of weapons wielded by the Swords of Insight.
Connell will then kind of like shimmy, like I suppose as we're like making our way towards the exit, Connell's like tells everyone to huddle over, and he's like showing the grip, the descriptions of these weapons, and kind of just gesturing, being like, we've no idea where these things could be, but if we're able to use the branches of Pelor to our advantage to zip across the land, these things might give us a fighting chance against that big godly threat up north.
It's possible, but look at the lengths that Rhódania and Westerly had to go through in order to access one, and they still had trouble. I mean, I like where your head's at, but it's a good plan. I just think we need to have several backup plans as well. Can never be too careful. But let's put a pin in that.
And as silence takes the library once more, we'll bring tonight's session to a close. Or shall we have a post-credit scene? I don't know. What do you think? Because we're not playing next week, so
I'd say yes.
I gotta give you a little something.
Do it for Mai.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't gonna do one, but the way that this session has gone, I'm feeling inspired. Let's have a look here.
The frozen corpses in the courtyard turn into a flesh golem.
Our view pulls away from Zundanag. Pulls away from Rhódania. Well, not quite. Our view pulls backwards nearly 5,000 years. We see a group of adventurers known as the Swords of Insight, standing within the glistening halls of the citadel of the Morganath. Bathed in celestial light, you hear wildlife blooming outside. No snowstorms, no ice. People frolicking around. Society blooming in this place, touched by divinity. This group walks into the central room, the one where 5,000 years later almost, the Wyld Ones would set foot in. As we see the Swords of Insight look at a certain set of carvings on the floor being made. The penultimate one just being complete. The figure that is carving them brushes his knees off, stands up and turns to greet the group. Ah, you are welcome here. I'm just about to finish the last one. I believe these are who come next. And one of the figures steps forward. Tall, good 6.5 feet. Hair in a sort of blonde man bun, but shaved at the sides and at the back. Very glistening golden and silver armor. Rather imposing figure. Looks like the leader of the group. Well, it has been done, I believe. We have done our part. I am curious, though. What comes next, Master Palo? And he smiles. He says, well, if you stick around, you may find out. And he turns around and goes to start carving the final one. And he's then interrupted as the ground beneath begins to quake. And our view fades to black. That does it for this week's session of the Wyld Ones, Rhódania Chronicles. It's been a long day. A massive thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight, to my lovely players. I'm going to miss you next week, but I can't wait to be back at the table with you after I have taken my mandated break that I have to do. It is contractually obliged. I can speak English. Thanks for doing the thing, guys. It's been fun. Let's go around the table. My dear friends, if you'd be so kind, please reintroduce yourself, plug anything you've got to plug, and give us your favourite moment from the session. Starting with Mr. Timey.
Hello, I am Artie the Halfling. I've been Mr. Timey and will continue to be Mr. Timey every Monday. You can sometimes catch me in the background of Foxspotter's streams, being a nuisance. Favourite moment? I have two that stick out. And they're not big moments, but they made me chuckle. One of them was Aelin saying, "Let me just get 3d10." Because Inflict Wounds is such a great spell.
Best.
And the second one is Pat's face when you said the word Adachi, because his little weeb heart must have been going at 1,000,000 miles a minute.
This weeb heart grew 3 sizes that day.
So, yes, those are my favourite moments, just because it's the little things sometimes, you know? Just fill you with joy.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Aegis.
Hi, I am Aelin. I've been playing Aegis, and you can find me here on Mondays, or playing my chaotic mess on Wednesdays for the Wyld Chronicles, and every other Friday on QuestJunkiesUK, playing my soft crime boy. And favorite moment, I won't lie, everybody doing the double take when Aegis said, perhaps they need to be fitted for coffins. Just amazing.
Yeah.
But also the little Jimothy Brathsfangs the Third Esquire reference.
Yeah, I genuinely meant it when I said I've missed Aegis, because you forget just how brutal the biblically accurate twink can be. Amazing. Thank you so much. Conal McGinnisy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patrick, aka Patton. Sometimes I draw art, but Monday afternoons I play Conal McGinnis, the Rune Knight Fighter. So next Monday and next Friday is the release dates of the Zelda one-shot. I'm so happy that it's finally coming out, so I can watch it with everybody and talk about it, and then just start sharing all the little behind-the-scenes stuff that I did. So I'm really excited. So I'm also going to give a big shout out to Andrew Fergs, the creator of it. He's the guy behind It's Dangerous to Go Alone. He's also working on Final Fantasy tabletop game. He has a few other stuff on the works. So yeah, more on that next week. But yeah, I'm super excited for it to launch and debut, and yeah, all the good stuff. So yeah, my favorite. A few of my favorite moments from the session was Mr. Timey fucking sneezing and like just obliterating everybody on site, which was chef's kiss. Frike's fear effect that took effect over Conal as well, because he failed, and goddamn, that was a sight to behold. And then also ever since Mr. Timey's name was revealed to me, I'm like, he's got to mess up his name at least once. And it's going to be a thing I'm going to keep, well, hopefully not do it to that extent, but like the Timothy Bratsfangs was a good one in my eyes.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Bridget, Frag, sorry. It's character names this time.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bridget. I've been Frag, the Way of the Long Death Monklock / Popsicle. After tonight. When I'm not here, Mondays and Friday nights for these two lovely streamed campaigns, you can find me every other Friday night over on Pink Swackish channel for Candlekeep Mysteries. So close to the ending. Oh my goodness. Not to mention behind the scenes over on QuestJunkies, working on a triumphant return to Vampire the Masquerade / Cyberpunk, coming to a YouTube channel near you the next few months. That ought to be fun. And when I'm not on streams, you can find me behind the scenes, recapping, lore keeping, fanfic, and all that good stuff. And I mean, I had several favorite moments, including contemplating going through the shops and possibly finding anything for Mr. Timey to drink beyond water, like an actual substance to ingest. And I'm just, the time I had picturing oil can. That was great. And yeah, just so many of our group dynamics, figuring out what to do next. I love the camaraderie we're starting to build here, and I am excited for our return. And that's me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I am Patch, your ever humble Dungeon Master. I played everybody else, most notably, I think, Astarion, which is always fun to delve into that little red flag. You can find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can find me every other Friday over on PhoenixUK, playing my sassy yet classy Order of Scribes, Kalistar Wizard Cleric, Callisto Grove, alongside Aylin's Soft Crime Boy, my favourite partner in crime. Things to plug. We have lots. There's lots. I'm tired. There's lots of stuff coming on Quest Junkies. Just join the Discord and have a look. Like there's tons of stuff coming. Most notably, we have the Zelda two shot, should I say? We have the Descent into Avernus campaign starting next month. Very excited for that. Quest Junkies Academy starting in June, which is super excited about. I'm mostly excited for having some time off because I need it, and being able to come back fully refreshed to, cause more trauma, because that's apparently what I'm good at. In a safe space, obviously. And favorite moment. I mean, everyone's already said my favorite moments, but I do like to try and pick a different one. So I will say, I think my favorite moment was realizing you were about to delve into some of the oldest lore I have for my world, which is a really nice feeling because it's something I haven't gone back to since campaign 1, and it was barely touched upon. So it's nice to give, retro Rhódania some fresh life, and I look forward to seeing where that goes because that could be interesting.
Let's revisit those old quest lines, dog. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ones I made when I didn't know how to DM, so they were incredibly unbalanced.
Those are the kind of legendary weapons I want.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, not the weapons. It's the people that you have to kill to get them. I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, that does it for us. We're going to go off and show some love to our friends over at Bards of New York. Do stick around for the raid. All the love to you at home. And I guess if there's anything else left to say, is it my week off yet? Good night, guys. Mwah, good night.
Right.